Shalom Aleichem, live from Central Park for the first time in a long time. So what do you say to someone who says they've been told by the doctors that they just have a few days left? And I'm asking this because it's a true story. Just yesterday, a friend called me, said that her friend was told that she has days left and she wants to talk to a rabbi. So what do you say? I'm not her doctor. I'm not her therapist. I'm not her second opinion. What do I say? What do you give a person when their body is almost out of time? So interestingly enough, this week's Torah portion, Chayei Sarah, answers that question. It's brutally honest, but also unbelievably comforting. Because the person, this parsha is called Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah. And the first words of the parsha describe her death, her passing. There's not one pasuk, one verse in the Torah that shows about Sarah laughing with Yitzchak, baking challah, or running her home, or doing the things we know about her. The entire Torah portion is about everything that happens after her burial, after she's gone. It talks about finding a wife for her son. It talks about Avram remarrying, Avram writing his will. So it seems like a bit of a cruel title to call it the life of Sarah when it's not her life. But the Rebbe says yes, exactly that. The Rebbe says because the real life is not just what happens while your heart is beating. The real life is what keeps beating after your heart stops. And look what Avraham does right after she passes. First, Avram buys Ba'aras HaMachpelah in Hebron, full price, no favors, the first permanent piece of Israel in Jewish hands. And that's what Sarah wanted. Avram was carving out Sarah's dream, a Jewish people in a Jewish land, carving it into rock. And then he sends his son, his servant Eliezer, to find a wife for his son Yitzchak. Not a local girl, but someone who can continue Sarah's life and values, someone from her family. And the Torah says that Yitzchak brought Rivka into Sarah's tent, and the miracles of Sarah came back, the Shabbat candles, the dough, God's presence. Sarah was gone, but her tent and her legacy lived on. And then Abraham writes his will, and in the moment of truth, he gives everything to his son Yitzchak, not to Ishmael. And the rest, Ishmael and his friends, were sent away with gifts. So the headline of the Parsha, Chayei Sarah, is really befitting. Abraham is doing everything that Sarah wants. He's committed to Sarah's mission, and he locks in her very laser-focused Jewish dream. And that's what the Torah meant by the life of Sarah. And it's teaching us that a Jew, a life, really lives forever. When your values and your priorities and your inner truth are carried out through someone else, then you're not just a memory, but you are a presence. You live. Death doesn't cancel life. It frames it. And then it gets copied. Your life gets copied into other people. So what do you say at a deathbed? Maybe you don't say, your story is over. It was good while it lasted. But maybe you say, what part of you are you happy that will remain? Not medically, but spiritually. What part of you do you want to see walking around in your children and your friends in this world tomorrow? We don't have to wait for the deathbed for that. We can start now. The famous story of the Baal Shem Tov, who, a childless couple, came to him and asked him for a blessing. He brought them to a town where every boy was named Baruch Moshe and every girl was named Bracha Leah. What's going on over there? So, after finding out that there was another couple who didn't have children for many years, but they decided forever but they decided to support the townspeople and teach them Torah, or let them learn Torah. So they were the people of the town when they passed on were so indebted and so grateful that they said these people were our spiritual parents. They impacted our lives forever. Their bodies were gone, but their impact was not. And they named all their children after this husband and wife. And that's what Chayei Sarah is telling us, that your body might be running out of time, but your life is bigger than your pulse. And then there's the pain of someone who's already gone, like a father who came to the Rebbe and said, my son died. I can't live. How do I live after my son died? And the Rebbe said, if your son moved to another country and you couldn't see him, but you could send packages to him, would you send them? I said, of course. The Rebbe said, that's exactly the situation. Your son is in another place. You can't see him, but you can send him packages. Kaddish, Mishnayot, Torah study, tzedakah in his honor and his merit, good deeds in his name. These are real packages that get delivered to him, they get opened, and they get used. And that's when the father saw that the funeral wasn't a dividing wall between him and his son. So, possibly, one of the important messages of Chayei Sarah is that, and a person at their deathbed, is that you're a soul who has something to give, an eternal soul. While you're alive, you can bless your family, you can forgive them, ask them forgiveness, and you can continue doing acts of kindness that people will continue to do in your memory every year afterwards. So you can decide what your personal Chayei Sarah is. Getting personal, today is my Jewish birthday, the 22nd of Cheshvan, and I'm in New York now, as you can see, in Central Park, my stomping grounds. I ran this reservoir over 10,000 times. For real! It's closed off over there, that's why I turned around. But I like to see the water in the background. So, 22nd of Cheshvan is my Jewish birthday. I'm in New York for the Kinos HaShluchim, for the gathering of international conference where thousands of Chabad rabbis come together. All these people who live only to make their lives count inside another's life, to help others with their lives. And looking back, I think I recorded a running commentary ever since I started on my Jewish birthday every year so far. And maybe this is my real birthday question. Not how long have I lived or how old am I now, but what part of me is really alive? What part of me will keep on living if Mashiach doesn't come soon after I'm gone? Maybe that's a question we can all ask ourselves and start working on that right now. God bless you from cloudy, a little bit rainy Central Park, live in New York City. God bless you.